Hey, what's up everybody? Wes here. Some of you may remember my white Tacoma in my earlier videos. Unfortunately to some, I did trade it in for this 2023 F-150. This is going to be the STX model. It's four-wheel drive. The STX comes with smoked out headlights, some darker badging here on the front, as well as a color keyed bumper on the rear, and then a darker interior among other options. Now, I'm going to be highlighting some of the favorite upgrades I've done so far. I'm going to try to keep this build pretty simple. The first thing I did was put on some new tires. These are the Goodyear Wrangler Authority. The Authority is like the Walmart version, but it's got some pretty good tread, as you can see here. A lot more aggressive than what comes on the stock tire. These are 275/60 R20s. If I'm not mistaken, that was the same size as the stock tire that you see here, but this tire looks a lot bigger, even when putting a level up beside it. I know it's not on the rim, but it just looks a lot taller, and it also felt a little bit taller once I put them on. And here's a quick shot of my truck right before the tires went on, and then here's it again after. Again, it may not look that much in the video, but when you see it in person, it's definitely a big change. Another thing I did was to install a truck bed liner. I actually had someone put it on. This didn't come on factory like a lot of truck bed liners do, so I was able to work out a deal with the dealer as I was there purchasing the truck. I brought it back a week later, and they put that on. I've done a little bit of hauling with it, as you can see here. Just some wood, different types of plywood and lumber from my big box store. Even hauled around my little dog Chewy. And while they had my truck in the shop, another thing that I took advantage of was the opportunity to have these rear fender wells sprayed with that same bed liner, and it was no problem. They just taped it off and made it happen. I think it gave it a lot better contrast, definitely more protection than it does when you just have this here's the stock fender well with the painted match. And the last thing that I did on the bed was to add these tie-down anchors. I picked these up off of Amazon, and I'll provide a link in the description for those in case you're interested in purchasing these. But it came in a set of 4, and they're lockable. You can just detach it from the plate here. But what you do, you just line the plate up with the truck bed, and then it comes with all the hardware in the package to get that attached. Super easy. It's got the keys here to remove the actual anchor, and then all of your bolts here to get it attached to the truck bed. So super easy install. Another quick and simple upgrade that I did was to install this black lettering overlay into the tailgate letters. I did this with my Tacoma. It looked good on there. It was white, but I think this one looks really good because it helps pull together the black and gray theme. Another non-negotiable for me when it comes to a pickup truck is having a toolbox installed. I actually picked this one up from Lowe's. This was a Craftsman. I just took the badge off the front. But a toolbox is a great place just to throw your jacks, rain jackets, emergency gear, tools, anything that you might need while you're on the road. So I highly recommend it. Another major upgrade that I did to this truck was to install this set of tow mirrors, and I really never thought that I would need tow mirrors until I put these on, and I absolutely love them. The stock mirrors that came on this truck were just too small. It just really didn't provide good viewing angles, and it also had this small bubble in the corner that lessened your viewing angle. So I highly recommend getting a set of tow mirrors, even if it's something that you've ever just possibly considered. I got this set from boostauto.com. These have the running lights, turn signals, and also a puddle lamp. You can get these on Amazon, but not this particular one that I got from Boost Auto. Again, they have a few extra bells and whistles. I had to activate on these features on the computer. This is not always a plug and play depending on your vehicle. I had to go on and activate the running lights, the turn signals, as well as the puddle lights that you see here, which really help to be able to see in the dark. And if you're going to do something like this, you need to get the adapter and the software. It's called ForScan, and then go on there and get that activated or have someone do it for you. The next thing that I upgraded was the window tint. The fronts were clear, so I installed a 35% legal for North Carolina window tint, and it looks darker at some angles than others. I think it's a good match. I didn't really want to go any darker. The next thing I did was to install a set of ABS rain guards. I tried to go with the in channel, but the front windows weren't very compatible, so I went ahead and went with these stick-ons, and I still like those just as good. But the interior of this truck is really what won me over. Again, I'm coming from a Toyota Tacoma, which is pretty cramped as far as sitting 4 adults. This one's going to have tons of room in it. Really happy with it so far. I've had it for just a few months, but the storage space is just unreal. Here in the underarm storage, you just tons of capacity. I like to add these little catches here, if you will. This is kind of an off-brand one. I'll be upgrading it pretty soon to the drop stop, which I had in my other vehicle, but it keeps items from being able to fall in between your seats. Again, I'll have links to this in the description. It's just going to keep your keys, phone, any kind of smaller items from falling through the cracks on you. And then here's a quick shot of the rear seating. Sorry I didn't get everything cleaned out for the video, but it is super spacious. I'm 6'5", and when I'm driving the truck sitting comfortably, I can get out and then sit behind myself and still have plenty of room if that person driving needed to scoot back. Something I would highly recommend that you get, though, is a nice seat cover. I found one here that I bought off Amazon. It's very durable. It hooks around each of the headrests, and you can just tighten it up. Super tough. I'll have a link for that in the description. But that's really it. I don't plan on doing a whole lot extra to this truck. I've got the tires, the tent, tow mirrors, toolbox, truck bed liner, pretty much everything that starts with a T, it seems. A few other options. But this truck's just been really good to me. A lot of people seem to like it. It gets a lot of compliments. The color is Avalanche for anybody that might be curious. And if you are curious about anything else that I installed on this truck or have any questions at all, definitely feel free to leave those in the comments below. I'll work hard to get back in touch with everybody and try to answer those for you. But in the meanwhile, I'd really like to thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you on the next video. All right, peace.